Stephen Lofton was a foster parent to 3 small children who tested positive for HIV at birth. 2 of the children later developed AIDS, while the others seroconverted during infancy and no longer tested positive for the disease. Lofton fostered the children for 10 years while caring for all of their medical needs. When one of the kids got free to be adopted, Lofton put in an application to adopt him, but under the homosexual adoption law, he was prohibited to do so. So he went to court over it and lost because of the law in Florida prohibiting homosexuals to adopt. My speech will cover a study that was done by a PhD, which states forbid homosexual adoptions, and some organizations that support same-sex adoption. Same-sex adoption is the adoption of a child by a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender person. This could be in the form of joint adoption by a same-sex couple, step-parent adoption, and adoption by a single gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender person. Children raised by same-sex couples are no more likely to display health or psychological problems than children raised by heterosexual couples. There have been numerous studies that have proven this to be fact. One in which a PhD, Charlotte J. Patterson, studied 106 families who adopted children at birth or in the first few weeks of life. 56 of those were same-sex couples and 50 were heterosexual couples. Patterson completed several tests on the preschool kids in which evaluated the child's anxiety, depression, and withdrawn behaviors. She found that the children of homosexual couples were equivalent to the children of the heterosexual couples. In its early years, adoption was primarily used for placing healthy white babies into the homes of married couples who were middle class. Over the decades, adoption has changed dramatically. It has become a way for different populations to form families. Laws on same-sex adoption differ from state to state. Florida has a law that strictly bans homosexual adoptions whether the couple is married or not. The first court case that upheld the constitutionality of Florida's ban on same-sex adoption was the Lofton v. Kearney case. Stephen Lofton, as I mentioned earlier, fostered 3 children for 10 years and eventually wanted to adopt them himself, but couldn't because of the laws that forbid same-sex adoption. The American Academy of Pediatrics is an organization that supports same-sex adoption. American Academy of Pediatrics verified that a growing body of scientific literature demonstrates that children who grow up with 1 or 2 gay and or lesbian parents fare as well in emotional, cognitive, social, and sexual functioning as the children whose parents are heterosexual. Another supporter of homosexual adoption is the Lesbian and Gay Foundation. It is a charity that is governed by a board of trustees from a wide range of backgrounds and with different kinds of skills and qualifications. The Lesbian and Gay Foundation is aimed to give those who are homosexual equal rights as those who are heterosexual. The Sharon S. v. Superior Court of San Diego was a case that took a step towards legalizing homosexual adoption. The judge declared the right of second-parent adoption. It allows both partners, whether gay or lesbian, to build a legal relationship with their child. That decision still stands in the county of San Diego. The 14th Amendment was ratified on July 9, 1868. It restrains states from denying any person equal protection of the law. Therefore, same-sex adoption is a constitutional issue. In Section 1 of the 14th Amendment, it guarantees equal protection of the law to all U.S. citizens regardless of person's age or sex, religion, race, or color. So, if a homosexual person is denied the right of adopting a child based on their sexual orientation, then isn't the right of equal protection under the law being violated? Some say so, while others say not. Same-sex adoption still varies from state to state. Florida is the only state that prohibits any type of same-sex adoption, but other states have some sort of laws against different types of adoption, meaning stranger adoption, joint adoption, or second-parent adoption. Utah only forbids non-married couples from adopting a child. Some states are still trying to get same-sex adoptions banned, such as Illinois. Catholic charities in Illinois won't accept same-sex couples to adopt or for fostering parents. I believe the issue regarding same-sex adoption will eventually be resolved. People will come to realize that a child is better off in a stable home, whether the adoptive parents are the same sex or not, than in foster care. I stand for homosexual adoption. There are about 80,000 foster children that go unadopted each year, and many same-sex couples who want to adopt. Put two and two together, and you have a solution. I obtained most of my information from OTC's library, the Galileo, that you can do on the computer, and a lot of it comes from organizations' websites such as the American Academy of Pediatrics .com or .org, and I also obtained some from NCBRS.com, and that's another National Center for Lesbian Rights. That's another organization that supports same-sex adoption.